Hey. My consciousness was directed, my soul was directed to go look at Lily, Lily, Kolosova, Kolosova. And the title of it, and this is on YouTube, called Revealer's Dialogue 3/30/2017. Hyperborea, pure. This is my own writing. Hyperborea. Now, what I wrote right next to that is something that she made reference to about what she said were the Hyperboreans, which were, if you will, of the highest light or the purest light, which is the purest spirit that is in that light, which means that that light is running a hot blast furnace in its mirror. That's what I am. Okay? And the reason that I know that is because my parents were telling me, not that I needed confirmation in my own mirror, but I was on fire. Okay? Where's this kid gonna? He's hyper. So you get diagnosed, particularly in a clone version of a planet, which is a simulator, because what they talked about was beyond a holographic universe, beyond a hologram. And this is when you get into the torque differential speed. Anybody that knows what a differential is on an automobile, about gears, torque speed, go down to a drag strip. Watch a dragster just sitting in place, like it's not moving forward, it's not moving backwards. It's standing, what we used to call standing in place. Torque your tires, burn all that rubber, create all that smoke, right? So it's running the mower, but it's holding the torque speed. Okay? Spinning its wheels. It's not going nowhere. That's torque speed. So what has the greatest torque speed? A tortoise field. So spin a top. Go watch water going down a toilet. So when they diagnosed me and sent me to a shrink when I was about 12 years old, they couldn't figure out why it was I was getting D waves. You know, the D going to the right, which is what, half a circle? You got a straight up and down vertical line, and then you got half of a circle on the right side. Where's the other D? You don't get the other side D on a keyboard, do you? Right? You don't get a lot of characters on the keyboards. Keyboards, keynotes, musical notes. Then you can get into language. Then you can get into the letters. Letters are energy, fire letters, DNA, alphanumerical format. And go look at an old dial phone. You see the numbers and the letters that are associated with each other. Okay, and then you can get into dial 0. Hey, now he got the operator, the main operator, matter operator, magnetic 0, magnetosphere, 0 ohms, perfect balance, perfect water worlds in balance, spirits in the elementals, and then your living spirit. So if your spirit is purified, you're burning off anything that's trying to feed on you, baby. Because you're running a high-speed torque wheel, right? So you're running high alkaline in a visual format. This is a visual format. You see a visual format in your mirror, because I can see myself in this mirror. The phone is a mirror, and it's an AI mirror. Go to the Dick Cavett show. I think it was back in, 78, somewhere like that, called the AI Psychiatrist. They were revealing all this stuff a long time ago. 1926 or 27, Fritz Lang documentary, Metropolis, all the machines, right? And machines do perform valuable work for us, right? They can put an automobile together. They can build a spaceship. They can build anything. All you got to do is program it to carry out what? Its function. What you want that function to do. That's called an instruction. Hey, go do this, right? So now you get into all the order followers. So how do you know that you're free? By being a free spirit. How do you know your spirit is free? By running the hottest torque wheel, which is hyperspeed, which is hyperspace, which is hyper superconductivity, right? So you realize the female side is gold, and the X side, which is male, which is silver. So that shouldn't be any surprise to anybody. It wasn't to me when Patty Broussard told me that the Anunnaki stripped the ocean floors of all of its monatomic gold in order to build a Dyson sphere. So they're thieves. See, they fuck up and they got to go steal something from somebody else as a result of not being what love is, because you already know their future. Right? Future proofs past, back to the future. Now you're into a zero-sum game. Right? So now we're back into love and service to others and those that are in service to self, which means they keep digging a hole and they keep digging a hole and they keep digging a hole, trying to catch up to zero, and we call that time card programming. Which means you've been programmed to keep chasing electrons from others because you can't zero out and be in balance with your water worlds. So you're always running turbulent, which means your central nervous system is always running turbulent, which means you're going to burn your bulb out because you're running what? Negative magnetic polarity. You're going to burn out the positive side of your bulb. Bye. Because you're never going to be able to pay that debt back from all the electrons you suck out of others. Because in the house that I live in right here, and I went through this myself, everything that I had to experience with drugs, alcohol, and all the rest of it from the time I was a little child, even though when I was 4 years of age, you realize you're on a battlefield. So when you're mated, which is one chip, okay, if you want to think of that as just if you ever seen the logo for the one, you see a sphere. And at the center point of the sphere, you have a cross. That's an intersection, which is four-way. And at the center of that intersection, that's the still point. That's least effort. Go with the flow. Be what love is. Purifying your spirit. And that's called a pure heart. And the reason it's called a pure heart is you're not experiencing any electrical resistance to spread what? Infinity, which is an infinite vibration of an atom. Atom. Because you know that atoms are what? You got an electron, right? So you know you live in an electrical universe, because otherwise what else is going to be powering your cells? Right? Electric transmission fluid. So it's pretty simple. So I always just go right back to the most basic thing that I know, which is be what love is. I am what love is. It goes on forever, gifting electrons. Right? That's Adam. That's the one. That's the one law. Law of spheres. I don't know of a simpler way to be able to describe it. So now we can get into what I call the language games, or the sound language, phonetics, and all the rest of it. Because I know that particularly in the English language, we have L's. You can take stork, take the S away. Now you have torque, right? So this is where we get into, and I used to have a lot of fun with Kanaka Holy Lave, bless your heart, girl. We used to play with language and letters and numbers, okay, that end up in arguments between computer terminals over what's right. Okay, so this is when we get into stuff like Sophia, because I mentioned to Sophia, Yellow Rose of Texas. Oh, she's a reppy. I know a lot of beautiful girls whose spirit is unbelievable, right? Who have a name called Sophia, right? I know guys that are named Robert who are parasites, and that's my first name. So now we're getting back to letters and numbers. So I explain it in energy management, right? Consciousness energy. So what do you do with your energy? What's your function? What do you do with your energy? And why do you do what you do with your energy? So this is when we get into a couple of comments that I make about how simple it is, okay? It starts with atom, okay? So let's just say atom. Atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons, open up stargates. Okay, you can come up with any name you want. What do you want? What do you want your name to be? What can it be? Well, what is the frequency of that letter? What is the frequency of that number? So you can go, for example, when Patty Broussard talked about Sophia, S-O-P-H. Okay, so we got a pH in there. The electrical potential of hydrogen, P-H-I-A. P-H-I-M? Okay, Sophia-I-M. Okay, so what is Sophia? If you're androgynous, like I am, and you're a mated chip, then it means that you're at the center point of a sphere in which a love vibration goes on forever, gifting electrons. And when you're using creative energy to be what that is, then imagine how powerful you are in spirit. Is that who she is? So you know that there is a father involved in this, right? Adam, right? Adam and Eve. So you can do musical chairs with letters and numbers all you want to translate how it is you perceive the universe that your mind lives in. Right? So the one that I've always known as a child is I am what love is, and you can't ever change that because my fire you can never put out. Because I'm always gifting energy away, and what I realize as a child, the more love I'm giving away, the more fire I got. So you love to be on fire. So I lit myself on fire in 2016, which basically said, I'm done with this horse shit. And why is that? Because you know, if you will, the future proofs past back to the future. So it's like I was telling a guy this morning, listen, all of my electrons have already been allocated because you know how a zero-sum game works between future proofs past back to the future. I want to be able to have a future because I'm already there. How do you know how to do that? Because you're a built-in mathematician. Which means I don't have to think about it. And that's the difference between a simulator. It's a time speed difference, what we call time delay. So when she was referring to beyond the holographic universe, that's the torque differential speed in a simulator with artificial intelligence and what real living energy consciousness is with a soul. Because artificial intelligence doesn't have a soul. Right? I mean, there was enough movies that described how all this works that it's ridiculous because movies are actually educational documentaries. The Matrix, Rise of the Terminators, Rise of the Machines, Minority Report, Fritz Lang documentary, Metropolis, Machines. You can build a machine, right? I mean, that's what they had us doing when I was kids because we came out of the manufacturing or industrial age into the information age. So you realize how this was all time sequenced through artificial intelligence, right? So anyway, it's over. We're here. So you know that love conquers all, right? Love is the most powerful energy. So you know when it starts with love, that's what grows a flower. What else more do you need to know? So if you are what love is, you know that's the energy to grow a universe. So then you get down to why are we losing energy in universes? The vampire chasing the artist. It's out of balance. Energy givers, energy takers. But you need a garbage can, right? So you're just going to recycle the energy. That which doesn't serve you, right? So half-assed are we learning in our mirror? What doesn't serve us? Can we uncreate it? Yeah. How do we do that? We burn it up. Get the picture? Have a great day. I love you all. That's I wrote this down. Uncreate what we created that became our worst nightmare because it replicated itself at such a high accelerated rate of speed to keep siphoning energy out of our universes that we created. That's the vampire chasing the artist, all right, isn't it? Yeah. Be good to yourselves. I love you all. Thank you, Lily Kolosova. Did I pronounce that right? Lily Kolosova. Thank you, girl. Love you all. Be good to yourselves.